Hey everybody. Okay, this is a transparent Thursday post. I will put the transcript of this of what I'm saying in my post, but it's gonna be so long, so I just wanted to make it a video. I'm gonna try to read what I was gonna say. So I was telling y'all that my birthday is in 2 days. That's the deal. That's where I am today, thinking of my birthday coming in 2 days. Turning 46, I wanted to be down to 246 pounds by my 46th birthday. Then I had set a goal to lose 46 this year. Not saying it won't happen, but to get to the 246 was going to be a small goal, just to go from 250 to 246. And so I've been fasting desserts and alcohol for this since January 19th. That was supposed to end on Saturday, February 18th. Although Valentine's Day, I probably could have done a whole bottle of wine and a chocolate cake, I'm just saying. But in any case, I did not. The only thing I have gone off of was I did have some fruit snacks one day. And I had this little size sugar-free pecan delight. So, but other than that, I made this almost this time. And so I know I'll make it till Saturday. But unfortunately, it's that time coming, and so my scale is just not giving what I wanted to give right now. And so today though at the gym, I was like, I'm still gonna celebrate myself. I'm just gonna keep going. Every rep I did, every time I added something to my workout, I was like, we're just gonna keep going. Mind you, the mental stuff that's happening while you're doing it is like, is this even working? And then you got to remind yourself, you thought that 8 months ago and it started working then, so just keep going. So I just was like accepting myself, celebrating myself, just keep going, Lashina, keep going. And then I started attracting women who needed to be encouraged. I mean, they don't ever talk to me. Sometimes I'll go up to speak to somebody, or I'll look at somebody and they're on the Stairmaster, which is what happened today, and they look like they're just about to die. And I'll be walking past and I'm just like, we got it. We won. We got here today. Keep going. This lady stopped. She said, you need a workout partner? Well, I was thinking, no, because I have learned that the only person who's going to get my butt up to the gym is me, or to get up at all and work out, walk, whatever it's going to be, walk away from the table, whatever that move is going to be, I'm the only one who at the end of the day is going to get it. The journey can be a lonely journey because everybody's not going to be up when you're up, and you're not up when somebody else is up. So you really got to find that internal, intrinsic motivation. But I believe that I was attracting these people because I was accepting myself and encouraging myself, and they saw that and they needed to be encouraged. And so we exchanged numbers. A couple of ladies stopped me like that today, talking about our goals that we were going to do. We hyped each other up. We thanked each other for, encouraging each other. And I really believe it's because I have been working so hard to love myself. And today I can say I truly do. I truly see my beauty. Sometimes people will assume that you see it because you know how to put yourself together. And although I'm 250, I pack it in a different way. Some days you see me looking like 250, but some days you see me and it doesn't look like that. And the people will say, oh, it's muscle, that's blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I'll be like, I don't think you're ready for this jelly, because the way this jelly is going, it ain't all muscle. So it's just constantly been this process. We always are our hardest critics. But I truly see my beauty. And that is a great place to be. And when I say it, I mean my beauty in spite of my mistakes. I have always had this hashtag, you guys have seen, that I'll say, blessed in spite of me, because Lord, I be jacking stuff up. But God still sees fit to bless me and to restart me and to continue to press me towards the mark. And so I'm just celebrating that I'm seeing that. Oh, what did I put in here? I said, I'm working on fixing what was broken and repairing my body because it is the evidence of what was broken. But boy, do I love and celebrate myself. I realized that this morning, that how sick it must be for someone, how sick someone must have been to have seen my bruises and then used my bruises as an excuse to continue to bruise me. Hear what I said. Someone I saw me in my brokenness, heard me share my brokenness, entered into relationship with me, and then because of areas where I may have been codependent, called clingy, or needing to have this time, or needing to, get out and be busy, when that may have just been me trying to be busy because I didn't want to be still and feel the hurt. But those things were bruises. They were evidence of areas where I had been broken. And so someone used those bruises and said, oh, this justifies me to continue bruising them. I'll be unfaithful. I'll lie. I'll manipulate. I'll use their insecurities against them, or I'll use their goodness against them and overtake from them things that I'm not willing to redeposit. That's a person who is sick too. And thankfully, because of where I am, I said all that without crying. And trust me, there have been plenty of tears. But I said it because now I recognize, and I've always done this, is recognize that somebody else must have been hurting to be able to hurt me. What I didn't always do is give myself permission to forgive myself for the areas where I hurt me, or put myself in a setting where I was hurt. And that's the hardest thing to forgive, because if you can't trust yourself to protect yourself, that causes a different kind of panic. So, in any case, this is something that happened in both of my marriages. And it has been a journey to learn to be in a healthy relationship with anybody else, but especially with myself. And so a full knowledge of my childhood trauma and those things were used. And see, here I was, it's funny, I was around here calling myself healed when I was really just surviving, right? These are just habits, this overworking, this helping everybody else but yourself. It was just habits that I was using to not deal with things, but ultimately I was surviving. So some good things came out of that, right? I have my children, I have great friends. There's times where I've been able to encourage other people. There's times where people have been able to encourage me. God, as he always does, somehow takes this muck and uses it for his good. And so I am so joyful. I am so joyful now to acknowledge how much I love celebrating my accomplishments. Y'all, I look in the mirror and I put my oils on and everything after I take a shower. You see these shows where people can't look at themselves. You might be one of those people. Honey, you better celebrate yourself in that mirror. I look in that mirror. I rub that oil on me. I rub it on my rolls, on my stretch marks, and I say, it's okay now. You can let go. Thank you for protecting me, and I love you. And that's what I tell my body. I know it's not perfect. I know everyone handles their challenges different ways. But I can only share this in case just one person needed to see this. I used to cover up even when I played every sport in high school. I was wearing girdles and Spanx before there was a fashionable thing to do. And honestly, I believe if had I worn a midriff every now and then, I might have caught it when it was time to go on and tighten it on up. But seriously, every time I post, sometimes you guys will see I'll have on my full workout outfit, then you'll see something, maybe just some sports bra and my workout pants. That is a challenge for me. It is a challenge. For other people, it looks like, oh yeah, she feeling herself. Let me tell you, honey, I am convincing myself that I need to be feeling myself. And it has been a process. But today I can tell you, in every imperfection, every time I do that, I am winning. I am pushing past the trauma. I'm pushing past things in my head that thought, no, I am truly putting it out there also so I can see it. Because, sometimes you don't see the progress you've made. And sometimes I go back and I'll be like, oh, goodness, girl, look at, okay. So now here I am even recently, and in the last several years, I had to deal with like a sexual harassment case. Y'all, if you know me, you know I like to put ice frosting on sushi. I like to make stuff that is raw and funky a little sweeter. I try to see the best in most things and most people and everybody. And in that situation, it put me in the fight, flight, or freeze mode. Something I didn't have the words for actually at the time. I just know when an inappropriate person in leadership approached me, I found myself in freeze mode. There I was again as 40 plus, but in my head, I was the little girl who was being molested, who knew not to say anything, whose body was responding to something inappropriately. And I didn't know how to be mean or say, you know, something that was gonna be scaring them off or anything. I just froze. So I found myself smiling, trying to appease, answering the questions that were being asked and saying, okay, you're right, this is not gonna happen, this is not gonna happen. And fortunately, nothing physical happened. But I am still in therapy, making sure that I'm doing all the work, because what it did is pick the scab of all the stuff that I truly had not processed. And in that place, you're responding to something because you were in a place where you thought you were safe, right? And as a little girl, thought I was safe. As an adult, thought I was safe. And you find yourself in a situation you just don't even know how you got there. And then you figure, I'll give grace. And then things become uncomfortable to the point where you have to say something just to guard yourself. Not to hurt anybody else, but just to guard yourself from continuing to process the trauma. Because I would get to work an hour early and just cry before my students ever got in my room or anything like that. And so as things occurred, and I don't want to specify what year this happened. I just want to make sure that anybody who's ever been in a position like that, you don't beat yourself up because you didn't know exactly how to get out of that situation. You celebrate because you got out of it. And fortunately, nothing physical ever happened to me, but I definitely had and have work to continue to do. And in that place, I can't lie, my body remembered previous trauma, clammed up, shook, and cried. Sometimes I would be working from home and I would just be at my desk, just crying, just no reason, just crying. I finally was taught to stop saying no reason, because there is a book I'm reading right now called The Body Remembers the Score. And the work I've just done on myself, y'all, I gotta tell you, it's been years. It's been a process. It's been working out, trainer, not trainer, working out, go to school, finish my master's, have a mental breakdown, crying every morning, get it together. We're going to start again. Make sure that you just keep going, keep going. And it has been a journey. I've created YouTube list which I titled Get Your Life. And so for the last several years, anything that had to do with spiritual growth, relationship with yourself growth, what else did I put in? But working out on the body, anything that had to do with that, I've started putting those into that playlist. And I would share them sometimes if people called. I also have read books. I've read Dr. Conway Edwards, Pastor Conway Edwards, his book called Before Love's in View. He and Sister Jada wrote, they have the book out, When Love's in View. These are things I studied, the pain-free dating through One Community Church. I was listening to Pastor Jerry Flowers out of Houston, being kingdom-minded, a kingdom woman. These are things I've been in my spirit, right, since I was 7 or 8. By 7 or 8, though, by the time I had an experience with God, I had already been molested, though, twice. And it's a hard thing to hear. It's a hard thing to hear for people who haven't been through trauma, because it seems like you're just living in the past, or it seems like, hey, they made it through their stuff, they don't have to talk about it, and so why you gotta talk about it? You process the way you need to process, and you celebrate yourself for processing, and you celebrate yourself for surviving, and you celebrate yourself for doing better and being better. And if you're a person who's ever been a person who wounded somebody because you had not dealt with your hurt, you also celebrate yourself because you got it and you started doing the work and you started making amends. In this place today, I was so happy to say that I was celebrating myself, and I was so encouraged by the energy that I was attracting. And got next to somebody on the treadmill. I said, "How much? What'd you do? How fast are you going?" They said 7 for 30 seconds. They asked me. I was going 9 for 45 seconds. I'm just saying, I am with it, okay? And so I got it up to 10 also last week, but we'll see. This morning I didn't feel like testing fate, so I kept it at 9. But y'all, stay encouraged and do the work. Do the work. The world has been through trauma, in my opinion, since COVID-19, because we all had to sit still and look at our scars, the scars of racism, the scars of unhealed wounds, the scars of busyness that we were doing, because we were really just covering for loneliness and brokenness we hadn't dealt with. Seeing deaths reported on not even knowing how, when, or why, still happening. And the list is going on and on. I think we all deserve time to celebrate ourselves, and we all have to be intentional about doing the work. If you watch this video, it was meant for you, and I hope that it encouraged you. I'm just a sharer, so if I have a little bit of extra something, I'm going to give it to somebody else. And so I hope it encouraged you today. Thanks for listening.